Bayville Elementary School, a charming building nestled in a peaceful town, was about to experience a day that would shatter its tranquility. It began like any other school day, with students bustling through the hallways, their laughter and chatter filling the air. But as the morning progressed, an unexpected and unprecedented threat emerged. A dense fog enveloped the school grounds, reducing visibility to a mere few feet. Concerned whispers circulated among the students and staff, and unease settled in their hearts. Principal Wilson, acting swiftly, declared a lockdown as a precautionary measure. Panic rippled through the classrooms as teachers hurriedly ushered their students into corners away from windows and locked the doors. The once vibrant school now echoed with silence. Inside room 203, a group of 5th grade students found themselves huddled together, their wide eyes reflecting a mixture of fear and curiosity. As the minutes ticked by, the atmosphere grew tense, and the fog seeped in through the cracks beneath the door, casting an eerie glow. Whispers of strange figures lurking within the fog reached their ears, fueling their imaginations and stirring their fears. The sound of footsteps outside the classroom only heightened their anxiety, though their origin remained unknown. In a moment of bravery, Amy, a quick-witted and fearless student, decided to investigate. She crept towards the classroom door, her heart pounding with every step. Peering through the small window, she caught a glimpse of shadowy figures moving with an unnatural swiftness in the fog. With a gasp, she stumbled backward, her face pale. She relayed what she had seen to her classmates, igniting a mix of terror and determination within them. They realized they couldn't remain passive victims. They needed to find a way to protect themselves. Through whispered deliberation, they devised a plan. Utilizing their knowledge of the school's layout, they decided to create a diversion, luring the figures away from their classroom. With strategic precision, they executed their plan, leaving the safety of room 203. Their hearts pounded as they moved cautiously through the fog, their eyes straining to pierce the thick shroud. The figures, drawn by the diversion, pursued them relentlessly, their eerie presence growing ever closer. With quick thinking, Amy led her classmates to the school's art room, a space filled with paints, brushes, and various art supplies. Desperate to defend themselves, they armed themselves with makeshift weapons, ready to face whatever awaited them. As the figures closed in, the students unleashed their courage, fighting back with a flurry of paint and art supplies. Colors splattered across the fog, momentarily revealing glimpses of the ethereal forms. They pressed forward, refusing to yield. With each strike, the figures weakened, their forms dissipating into the mist. The fog began to lift, revealing a sun-drenched day outside. Exhausted yet triumphant, the students emerged from the art room, their spirits soaring. Bayville Elementary School returned to its usual tranquility, but the memory of the fog and the figures that had haunted its halls remained etched in the students' minds. They became heroes in their own right, their unity and bravery forever celebrated. The story of the lockdown at Bayville Elementary School became a tale of resilience, teaching future generations the importance of courage and standing together in the face of the unknown. In the small town of Crestview, nestled among rolling hills and peaceful neighborhoods, stood Crestwood High School. The students and staff went about their daily routines, unaware of the darkness that loomed on the horizon. One sunny morning, as the students settled into their classrooms, an unusual series of events unfolded. The intercom crackled to life, announcing a school lockdown due to an unidentified threat. The once lively halls fell silent as the students and teachers swiftly followed the established protocols. In Mrs. Johnson's history class, a sense of unease settled over the students. They whispered among themselves, their voices tinged with fear and confusion. The The minutes ticked by, stretching into an eternity, as they waited anxiously for updates. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from the hallway outside the classroom. The students jumped in their seats, their eyes widening with apprehension. "Mrs. Johnson motioned for them to stay quiet, her own heart pounding in her chest. Footsteps, slow and deliberate, drew closer to the classroom door. The students held their breath, their eyes fixed on the entrance. As the doorknob turned, a hulking figure stepped inside. It was Mr. Davis, the burly janitor with a reputation for being gruff but kind-hearted. Relief washed over the students as they realized it was not an intruder, but rather one of their familiar faces. Yet something seemed off about Mr. Davis. His eyes, once warm and friendly, were now vacant and lifeless. Without saying a word, Mr. Davis moved towards the windows, his movements stiff and unnatural. He drew the curtains shut, blocking out the sunlight, casting the classroom into darkness. The students exchanged puzzled glances, their unease resurfacing. Their attempts to communicate with Mr. Davis were met with silence. Fear gripped their hearts as they realized that something was horribly wrong. As the minutes turned into hours, the students found themselves trapped in the darkness with a seemingly possessed Mr. Davis. Desperate for answers, they scoured the classroom for clues. Hidden among the books on Mrs. Johnson's desk, they discovered an old journal, its pages filled with cryptic symbols and eerie drawings. It detailed a ritual that, when performed correctly, could grant unimaginable power to the one who initiated it. With trembling hands, they pieced together the puzzle, realizing that Mr. Davis had unknowingly stumbled upon this forbidden ritual, unleashing a malevolent presence within him. The lockdown had become a trap, with Mr. Davis acting as the vessel for an ancient evil. As the school day drew to a close, and darkness blanketed Crestwood High School, the students braced themselves for a final confrontation. Armed with the knowledge from the journal, they devised a plan to break the curse that held Mr. Davis captive. Under the cover of night, they ventured into the depths of the school, guided by the light of their flashlights. With every step, they could feel the weight of the evil presence grow stronger, its tendrils reaching out to snuff out their hope. At the heart of the school, in the abandoned basement, they discovered the ritual chamber. Candles flickered ominously, casting dancing shadows on the walls. Determined, they recited the counter-ritual, their voices trembling but unwavering. As the final words left their lips, the air crackled with energy. Mr. Davis convulsed, his body contorting in a grotesque display. The darkness lifted, and the possessed janitor collapsed to the ground, unconscious but free from the malevolent force that had consumed him. In the days that followed, Crestwood High School returned to its normal routines, but the students would forever carry the memory of the lockdown horror. They had faced an ancient evil, a darkness that threatened their very existence. United by their harrowing experience, they formed lifelong bonds and vowed to protect one another from the shadows that lurked in the corners of their lives. And though the lockdown had brought them to the brink of despair, they emerged stronger, their resilience a beacon of hope in the face of darkness. The halls of Crestwood High School would forever echo with the whispers of their courage, a reminder that even in the midst of fear, light can prevail. In the town of Oakridge, nestled among sprawling forests and serene landscapes, stood Oakwood Middle School. It was an ordinary day, with students eagerly attending their classes, unaware of the impending chaos that would soon unfold. As the morning progressed, the school received an anonymous tip of a potential threat within its walls. Panic swept through the hallways as the principal swiftly initiated a lockdown procedure. Teachers ushered their students into their classrooms, locking the doors and drawing the blinds. In room 212, Miss Thompson's math class huddled together, their faces etched with fear. The sound of their thumping hearts filled the silence as they anxiously awaited further instructions. Outside, the school was eerily quiet, the atmosphere thick with uncertainty. Suddenly, the intercom crackled to life, a distorted voice issuing a chilling warning. "There is no escape. This is only the beginning." The voice echoed through the speakers, sending shivers down the spines of the students and teachers alike. As the minutes turned into hours, tension mounted within the classroom. Whispers of concern and speculation circulated, fueling their anxiety. Each passing second seemed to stretch into an eternity, and fear settled deep within their hearts. In the midst of the palpable tension, a faint scratching sound echoed from the ceiling. Eyes darted upwards, pupils dilating with dread. Above them, the ceiling tiles began to shift and crack, revealing a hidden crawl space. Curiosity mingled with fear as the students debated whether to investigate or stay hidden. Their longing for answers overpowered their sense of caution, and one by one, they cautiously climbed into the crawl space, leaving Miss Thompson behind. Inside the narrow, dimly lit crawl space, they crawled through the maze of ventilation ducts, their pulse quickening with every twist and turn. The air grew stale, and a sickening odor wafted through the tunnels, filling their nostrils with a putrid stench. As they ventured deeper, whispers filled the air, ghostly voices that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere. Shadows danced along the walls, their elongated forms evoking primal fear within the students' hearts. Finally, they reached a hidden chamber, its walls adorned with cryptic symbols and sinister artwork. In the center of the room, a large mirror stood, reflecting a distorted version of themselves. Compelled by a force they could not resist, they gazed into the mirror. Their reflections warped and twisted, revealing a nightmarish version of themselves. Fear gripped their souls as they realized the mirror held a malevolent power, distorting their very essence. It fed off their fears and insecurities, seeking to consume them whole. With their hearts pounding, they broke their gaze from the mirror, realizing the danger they were in. They needed to escape, to break free from the clutches of this malevolent force. Guided by their resilience, they summoned their courage and raced back through the labyrinth of ducts. The crawl space became a maze of dread, their every instinct screaming at them to find an exit. As they emerged, gasping for breath, they found themselves back in room 212. The lockdown had ended, and the threat had dissipated. But the memory of the mirror and the darkness it held would forever haunt their dreams. In the aftermath, the students of Oakwood Middle School stood united. They vowed to protect one another, to ensure that the malevolence they had encountered would never permeate their lives again. And though the horrors of that day would linger in their memories, they emerged stronger, their spirits unyielding. Oakwood Middle School would forever carry the echoes of their resilience, a testament to the indomitable human spirit in the face of unimaginable darkness.